Manicotti di crespelle con spinaci. Crespelle manicotti. Easy, fast, and delicious. Of course, the stuffing is ricotta and spinach. Nice and thin crespelle, and you can make the crespelle beforehand, even the day before. You can even freeze this crespelle. Crespelle, once it is rolling around, you can just flip it over and give it a little bit of a crust right in here. I have the sauce there. It's a nice simple marinara sauce. So here's one. Let me just do another one, just like that. Start on one end and you sort of roll it around until it spreads very thin and evenly across. You need some heat here, but you have to stay close by because these are very sensitive. You don't want them to burn. And we will crush some garlic. That's it. I'm gonna saute the spinach. And you want it to be flavorful when you saute it as well, okay? So we are finished with the crespelle. Let's get into the spinach now. Oil. The crushed garlic we just did. Just like that. Okay. The garlic is golden. Let's put the spinach right in. These days you get spinach all ready to go, or if it's spinach that you bought at the farmer's market, wash it first, but you do need seasoning, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of peperoncino, just like that, and a little bit of water, just to get it going. Here's some provola. Let me just finish grating some more provola, just like that. And provola is a complex, delicious cheese, and it has an intensity. Okay, so here we have that. And let's check the spinach. There it is. That's all I need to do to the spinach. And I'm gonna strain it here. Discard the garlic, we don't need this anymore. And I'm gonna drain them here so all the extra water comes out so that the filling doesn't get too watery. Let me put this a little closer. Always organize yourself. Let me get the egg. All you need is one egg to bind it a little bit. So here we have that, and a little bit of salt in the egg. Just like that. Let's whisk it. Okay. Let's put the ricotta right in there. And I'm going to press the spinach down. I'm gonna chop the spinach. Okay, so you can do the spinach before too. You can make the whole filling before and have it in the refrigerator. Let me put the spinach right in there. So now let's finish the stuffing. Gonna put grated cheese. So I'm looking at it, the ricotta is not seasoned, the spinach is seasoned, the cheese, the provola is seasoned, so maybe I don't even need any salt. Okay, let's mix it well. Could you do this with another green? Could you do it with Swiss chard? Yes, but you want the green that you put in the filling cooked, not overcooked certainly, but you know, blanched, and then it will continue to cook in the oven. Okay, this is done and tasty. This is brushed with butter, ready to put in the oven. Let's line the bottom of the pan with some sauce. And we'll begin to fill them and line them up. So I have a spoon, the stuffing on one side, and don't overstuff it. And you just press it in, just like a burrito. You fold it in the sides, and you continue rolling it. And here it is. Okay, one. Let's go for the next. Okay, so let's keep on rolling here. You know, I think kids could really enjoy doing something like this if you get them working with you. So maybe somebody really has an adversity to spinach. Can you put asparagus in there? Yes, you could. Could you put peas in there? Absolutely. Okay, snuggle them close. Okay. Snuggle, snuggle. And you know, everybody loves stuffed pasta. This is not really pasta. It's crespelle, but it's stuffed, it's baked, it has all those beautiful flavors that we all love in pasta. Oozing cheese on top, it's easy. It's not difficult. You know, ricotta we used at home for just about everything. Let me tell you the story why we had so much ricotta. Grandma had the goats, and that was our source of milk. We didn't have cows. Cows are expensive to keep. You need space, you need pasture. They eat a lot. Goats are much easier to keep. And because the goats will eat anything, any grass, they will eat bushes and everything. So even if you want things cleared, put them in that place and they will eat the grass and yield milk. They have the kids, they have plenty of milk. That was our milk. We used to milk it in the morning, have it for breakfast. Sometimes Grandma also sold it. And then when we had some left over, Grandma would make ricotta. And ricotta is so easy to make. Ricotta recooked. So that means when you make the ricotta, you use the milk. Grandma used to put a little bit of rennet or just lemon juice, and that would curdle the milk, and those little curds, those beautiful puffy curds, was ricotta. That's it. Now, I have this filling. I can make some more crespelle, and you can also make a lasagna out of this. A crespelle lasagna is fine. Instead of rolling it like that, you just make like a lasagna with the crespelle, with the same stuffing. And here we will put some sauce. And don't over sauce, but you know what? When the sauce bakes, it dries out a little bit. So I always leave a little sauce on the side. And then when you serve your crespelle, people can add some sauce. And of course, some grated cheese for the last crispiness in the oven. A preheated oven, 400 degrees, 40 to 45 minutes. And you got the crespelle, the ricotta cooked inside. That's sort of blending, the melting of the cheese. The ricotta kind of cooking with the spinach. You want those flavors to really blend in the oven, and it's gonna be delicious. So let's get it in the oven. Whenever I break from cooking, I like to check with everyone out there. So let's do it. Margarita, I see you use big blocks of cheese in your dishes. What is the best way to store cheese so that it doesn't mold? Don't be afraid of the mold. If you have a little mold, scrape it away and use that cheese. But the best way is to keep the air away from the cheese, because mold needs air to multiply. So you have a cheese, wrap it in plastic wrap nice and tight, and then I usually put it in a regular cloth that's humid and wrap it nicely and keep it in the refrigerator. It's as simple as that. Rosemary too, okay, she has a question. I've always wondered, when a recipe calls for 1 cup of grated cheese, do you lightly pack the cheese into the measuring cup, or do you pack it down a bit? I think cheese should not be packed down. You put it in as much, fill it, then you know what you do? You take the measuring cup and you just tap it on the bottom, and the cheese will settle naturally. And then you add a little more just to even it out. I always love hearing from you. Good questions. Smells delicious, looks delicious. I'm just gonna show you how to plate one, and then the rest we'll put on the table. So I put a little bit of sauce on the plate, not too much. So I want to get close to this baby here. We said 2? Did we say 2 or did we say 1? Well, let's go for 2. Let's try 2. I'm gonna use to help myself just like that. Ay, 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 que bellezza. Voila. I'm gonna make a Lydia's little piece. And so we can put this on the trivet. Here we are, a little basilico, of course. A little bit of vino, some good Merlot, nice full-bodied wine we need because this is a full-bodied meal. And let me taste now. It's really delicious. The sweetness of the ricotta, the spinach is always good. And the crespelle, kind of it's just a light envelopment of this packaging here. So are you gonna make this? I hope so. You should. You'll love it.